Hello, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. I'm back again with the weekly check-in reading for Libra. This will be for the week of March 16th. Before I get into the reading, I'll go ahead and get my disclaimers and things out of the way. Obviously, I'm not on camera. I didn't really feel like being on camera this week. Yeah. I just rather you hear my voice this time. Let's get into the disclaimers. If you're new to the channel, I thank you so much for tuning in. If you are returning to the channel, I thank you so much. Hopefully both groups, if you haven't done so already, you will subscribe to the channel so that way you know when I drop new videos. Sorry, y'all. As you listen along, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're leaving a comment. Make sure you're sharing. And make sure you're doing all the things. Okay? The decks that I'm using will be in the description box below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can definitely do that by going finding my email in the description box as well. In order to do that, if you have questions or concerns, you can leave. You can send an email, but you can also leave it in the comment section. Your questions. However, please don't put requests for readings in my comment section because that's not the way that I do it. You have to go through my email in order to do that, so just keep that in mind. As far as noise is concerned, I will try to keep it to a minimum, but you may hear, like the AC kick on, or you may hear the washer in the background because I am washing clothes. But for the most part, it should be fairly quiet as I'm doing this in the morning. So, it shouldn't be that much noise, hopefully. Yeah. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the reading. You should be seeing your spread on screen. So yeah, we will go from there. All right. So the first card that you have out, Libra, is Two of Air. This is being unwilling or unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. Okay, so first off, and I don't know if I did this for Taurus, so if I missed that, Taurus, I do apologize. But Libra, you all could be dealing with fellow air signs this week or fire signs. Yeah, I don't see any indicator of a specific sign, but air signs as well as fire signs, okay? Numbers that are significant for you are 2, 4, 7, 15, 4 again, and 32. So 4 is going to be significant for you this week. And 4s, they represent like stability, order, manifestation, okay? All right. Now, getting back to the card that we have out first, and this is the start of the week. So with the, how I read it, start of the week, midweek, end of the week, and I go column by column, okay? So you're unable. All right, so when I look at this card, the Two of Air, and I see the two like unicorns kind of butting heads or butting unicorn. The horns or whatever, it makes me think of like butting heads, like opposing views. So there could be something, and this is kind of similar to Cancer as well as Taurus. So if you have those placements such as myself, you may want to go and check those two readings out, because there's this energy of, and this could be just for the larger collective in general, but there's a need, there's something that people are not seeing, something that is unclear. So this could be why, at the start of the week, you're kind of at a stalemate where it's like, I don't know which way to go, you know what I'm saying? And I know for Libras, so like I mentioned in Taurus's reading, we have to have all the facts, we have to have all the things, before we make a decision, before we just take a leap, you know what I mean? So that could be the reason why Libras, you feel unable to make a decision right now. It's not that you're unwilling necessarily, but it's more so, I need this information, I need these things to line up before I make that decision. Okay. As far as, I don't really get necessarily that you're pretending, some of you are pretending that there's no problem, but if for a handful of you that are, I feel like this is more so you trying to escape, trying to, you know, avoid certain things, because, yeah, and I know sometimes as Libras, we can procrastinate sometimes, so that could be a thing. Okay, especially with number 15, the sacred vows, commitment coming out. I feel like before you're committing to something, before you're going along with something, you have to make sure that everything is aligned, everything makes sense. So that could be the commitment that you all are thinking about, especially if this is a, you know, commitment for a relationship, or, you know, a commitment to get married, or, you know, certain things of that nature. Volunteering yourself or committing to something before, you know, you've had the time to really sit down and analyze things and assess things, you know. So there could be that. And also, I'm getting also making a commitment to yourself. This could be something where, you know, you have to decide on whether or not it makes perfect sense to do a certain thing before you do it. And if it's kind of like, if, you know, I'm getting, you know, I'm feeling one way about it, but I'm also feeling this other way about it. So it's kind of like, which one, you know, where do I go? How do I go? It's like the scales, or you're weighing the scales, trying to figure out which way you want to go. So it's a lot of thinking, a lot of contemplating. Now, also with the Two of Air, I also get like putting two heads together. So, you know, this could be where a situation where, you know, not necessarily butting heads or opposing views, but maybe you could be collaborating with someone else, or asking someone for their input, and, you know, trying to figure out, you know, if whatever this is makes sense to this other person. This could also be something that's happening at work. So if this is more so on a professional level as opposed to, you know, a personal one, then yeah, you could be, you know, collaborating, working with someone, trying to find the best solution or best approach to do something. So it could be that as well. Okay. So midweek, you have Four of Air, and this is saying time to take a rest. Oh, wait a minute. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision, which is, it makes sense with the Two of Air. So again, still trying to make a decision, still trying to figure out, you know, what to do, where to go. I'm also getting, especially with the vacation there, meditation may provide answers. Okay. So yeah, with a take a vacation, maybe you're trying to figure out if it's a good idea to take a vacation, especially with what's going on in the world today. Especially if you're trying to figure out where to go, you know what I mean? You may feel more comfortable staying stateside, maybe not traveling too far. You know, if you do go to like any like countries, maybe it's like neighboring countries, like Canada, or, you know, somewhere Caribbean or something like that. But you're just kind of making sure that, you know, you're just trying to make sure that you're making the best decision possible before you make a move, if that makes sense. All right. Now with this card coming out with number 4, familiar, deep bonds. I feel like you're more so trying to just make sure you're being you're being responsible. And I feel like there's someone, you know, whether it's a familiar, like a pet, or like just a person that you're familiar with, like a friend, a trusted confidant, a colleague, or whatever. It could be that, but also, you know, you may, because I'm seeing someone talking to like their pet, like their dog or their cat or something, and like confiding in them, because that's who's there for you. So I do see that, but also I see, you know, like a person that you can trust, like a friend, talking to a friend over the phone, and they're kind of like a familiar to you. Like they're kind of like a friend, a familiar, someone that you're close with, you're comfortable with sharing certain things that, you know, your concerns and things of that nature. So I feel like this is more so on that level. And you're kind of like, you know, just kind of talking out loud, like saying, I wonder if I should do this. I wonder if I should do that, you know, so on and so forth. Kind of mulling over things. So that's what I get with deep bonds. And I feel like, you know, if you do decide to go on, you know, a trip, it could be maybe because I see, let's see, there are looks like 3 or 4 unicorns in that 4 of air card, as well as, you only have 2, like the woman as well as the fox is what it looks like, in familiar. So, you know, this could be a situation where, you know, you take a trip. Sorry, y'all. You take a trip with your confidants, you know, your friends, and it turns out to be like a very much needed, you know, retreat, you know, because on that retreat or on that trip, you all, you know, kind of, you know, share your concerns that you have, you know, and kind of talk things through, and it's a good thing because you can kind of get out of that whatever is kind of like stressing you to the point where you do need to take, you know, like a vacation, like a much needed vacation, you know, from things. So I think whatever you decide, you know, you'll decide the best possible option for you, especially when you have like, you know, friends and support, you know, that can kind of help you and assist you in what it is that you're trying to do. Okay. All right. So by the end of the week, let's see here. By the end of the week, you have 7 of fire, and this is defend your beliefs and your decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. So this could also be by the end of the week, you may have someone kind of like trying to put like, you know, like naysayers. They'll try to like talk you out of things. And it's not because they're looking out for your well-being, but it's more so like they don't want to see you rise higher than what, you know, than they are. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you win at all. And so you could have someone kind of like a naysayer trying to like stunt your growth or stunt your, you know, position or whatever. And it's just kind of like, no, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, no, I'm going to do what I set out to do. These are my beliefs. This is what I decided, and I'm sticking to it, and nobody's going to, you know, tell me otherwise. And it's just kind of like, you know, yeah, people will like, they will try to cast doubts on you and your plans because they don't have the courage or the discipline to, you know, make a move or to, you know, to go after things that they really truly want. And so, you know, because they don't have a backbone, because they don't have any gumption, they will try to, you know, cast doubt on you to keep you at that same level that you're at, instead of, you know, allowing you to, you know, to aspire to higher, you know, to aspire to a higher level. Some people get very, very triggered and very, very annoyed by people who, you know, people who, you know, have the audacity to want more, to do more. It's really funny. I will say that it's really strange. I will say that. But at any rate, let's see here. Sorry, I got distracted for a second there. I was looking at something on TV. So with it coming out with number 32, Moonwater Reset, I feel like whatever this vacation is that you need to go on, Libras, it definitely is a reset for you. It definitely is much needed from what I can tell. Because when I'm looking back at this number 15th card, the Sacred Vows, and there's like a, you know, lady that's meditating, and I think, wasn't it? Yeah, 4 of air, it says meditation may provide answers, and this woman is literally like meditating, So for one thing, I get that there's, and this is very much Libra or air sign energy, but thinking so much to the point that you need to take some time out to take a step back and reset, and kind of cover and go through every single thing, because air, like a air sign's mind, like we will think about things back to back to back to back to back, and there's, we're processing so many things at once that we need to either write it down or either talk to someone else in order to process through and truly analyze through what it is that we're thinking, what it is that we're trying to accomplish. We may have the vision, we may have the goals, but a lot of times we may need to sit down and actually like write things out. I know I have to do that, like, because I think about things a lot, and it just makes me think of like so much chatter in the mind. And the need to like sit and just kind of sort through all of the thoughts, that you're having, and come to like a consensus, come to like a plan, a solution, so that way you can execute it. But, again, with the reset, I feel like, you're kind of like, there's a need to really kind of go within, kind of like almost hermit mode. And I believe the hermit card came out in Cancer's reading, I believe. But yeah, there's very much a need with this reset card to go within, take some time out, and to just really assess, what it is that you need, what it is that is going on for you. Now, I'm looking at stand your ground and choose your battles wisely. With stand your ground and 7 of fire, again, I feel like this is more so like you have to, defend. You may have to defend yourself when it comes to, what it is you believe, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Some people may not understand what you're trying to do, and that's totally fine. Some people say, for instance, you move to one place and then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to move somewhere else because, this is not exactly what I had in mind. This is not exactly what I wanted to do. And now I want to do something different. And, it could be that family don't understand. It could be that friends don't understand what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you're safe, as long as you have a plan, as long as you, can support yourself, and you're protected, then that's fine. You got it. You know what I mean? So, you always have to go with your gut. You always have to go with what you feel is right and true for you. Because like I said, people will definitely try to talk you out of the things that you're trying to do, the things that you're trying to accomplish, for all the reasons I mentioned before. Now choose your battles wisely. I believe that, that is more so like, yes, you have to, defend yourself, but there's a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily, what am I trying to say? There's a way to, you can be direct, but you don't have to be unkind about it. You don't have to be, snarky or annoying about it. And now, now I will say, now if someone is, kind of coming at you kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? And they being messy with you, hey, it's fair game. But for the most part, I feel like with choosing your battles wisely, I feel like this is more so like saying, hey, is certain things worth it? Is it worth it to, argue with someone about what it is you're trying to do? Like, is it worth it going back and forth with a person because, they're trying to get you to stay or they're trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do? No, it's just, hey, I hear you, but I'm going to do A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? You want me to do, 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to do A, B, C. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of that type of thing. So You know, just like I said, just keep in mind that you know exactly what's best for you. You know, you can move accordingly to that. You know, don't let anyone stamp all over your dreams just because they're afraid to, you know, make a move to be different. And go from there. Okay. Sorry, I was kind of yapping, but you know, I get out, you know, I have to say what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. All right. So your affirmation, your affirmation for the week is I have self-discipline. Again, that was I have self-discipline. This is the same affirmation, funny enough, that came out in Taurus's reading. So again, if you feel compelled or called to go look at the other readings, I definitely encourage that. There may be messages in there for you. Other than that, Libra, I hope you that, I don't know why my voice is wanting to do this right now. But at least I'm wrapping up. So, yeah, like I was mentioning, if you feel called or compelled to go look at the other videos, make sure you go do that. There could be messages in there for you. Hopefully you have a great week. I hope the video resonated. If it did, leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know how. Other than that, I will see you all next week. Bye.